Diana, get up here now. Greg Hayes holds the microphone like he owns it. 200 faces turn. Christmas lights cast red shadows across the Buckhead ballroom. His wife stands near the dessert table. Red dress alone. We both know you married up. Marketing director. He laughs. Fancy title for someone who rode diversity quotas into middle management. She walks toward him. Heels click on marble. Steady. Even. Here's the deal, sweetheart. I'm filing for divorce tonight. You're going to sign right here so everyone can witness. You didn't earn a damn thing from this marriage. He unfolds papers. No alimony, no assets. You leave with exactly what you brought. Nothing. Silence. Thick. Choking. I've supported your little career long enough. Time to cut dead weight. She takes the pen. Okay. 3 loops, 1 line. Phones rise. Instagram stories go live. What he doesn't know. The quiet woman in red comes from power he can't imagine. Diana Brooks drives to the Christmas party alone again. 6 years of marriage. They've arrived separately for the last 18 months. She tells herself it's practical. His sales calls run late. Her marketing deadlines pile up. But the truth sits heavier. They stop being a team somewhere between year 3 and year 4. She parks her car in the hotel garage. Check her lipstick in the rear view mirror. The red dress was a choice. Bold confidence. Everything she doesn't feel tonight. Greg Hayes, 38, VP of Sales at Tech Corp Atlanta. Golden boy. Quota crusher. The kind of man who walks into rooms and people lean in. He closes deals other reps can't touch. $12 million in revenue over 3 years. Management loves him. His team fears him just enough to perform. Diana is 34, Director of Marketing. She earned her MBA from Emory while working full-time. Built campaigns that tripled lead generation. Her team respects her quietly. The way women in tech learn to respect each other when the room is mostly men. They met at an industry mixer. He made her laugh. Told her she was brilliant. Said he admired women who didn't need anyone. He proposed 6 months later. She said yes because he seemed safe, present, different from the men who fetishize her blackness or ignored it completely. He said once early on, I married you for love, Diana, not connections. She didn't understand the comment then. She kept her maiden name professionally. Brooks at work. Hayes in personal life, compartmentalized, clean. She never mentioned her family. Never brought her father to company events. Never used his name to open doors. Her father, Lawrence Brooks, 62, CEO of Brooks Holdings, private equity firm based in Nashville. He built his wealth slowly, carefully, invested in mid-sized companies with strong fundamentals. TechCP was one of them. Acquired 73% ownership in 2019. Public record, Georgia Secretary of State filing. Anyone could look it up. Greg never did. Diana enters the ballroom. White lights strung across the ceiling. Evergreen garlands on every table. Open bar. 200 employees and their spouses. The smell of expensive cologne and evergreen. Holiday music humming under conversations. Greg stands near the bar. His hand rests on a colleague's shoulder. He laughs loud, performative. He doesn't look for her. When she walks in, she finds her marketing team near the back. They smile, hug her, ask about holiday plans. She lies, says things are fine, work is good, marriage is fine, everything is fine. At 9:15, Greg texts her, I need to talk after my speech. She doesn't respond. At 9:30, he takes the microphone. No one asked him to. He just does. Diana's stomach drops. She knows that look. The one he gets when he's about to win something. When a deal closes. When a competitor falls. When he gets what he wants. Her phone buzzes. A text from her father. Call me when you can. She silences it. Greg's voice fills the room. Before we toast to another great year. Diana's hands go cold. I need my wife to do something for me. Diana walks toward him. Every step is measured. The room watches. She can feel eyes on her back, on her dress, on her face. Greg holds a microphone in one hand, divorce papers in the other. We both know this marriage is over, he says. His voice carries to every corner. Let's end it with dignity right here, right now. No lawyers dragging it out. Someone near the front coughs. A glass clinks against the table. No one moves. He reads the terms loud. Clear. No alimony. No shared assets. Clean break. You keep your career. I keep mine. He pauses, looks at her. You didn't marry me for money anyway, right, Diana? Her throat tightens. She doesn't answer. Sign it, he says, holds out a pen. Then we can both move on like adults. The silence is heavy, suffocating. She can hear her own heartbeat. Hear ice shifting in someone's drink. Hear the faint buzz of the overhead lights. Her hand reaches for the pen. It doesn't shake. She trained herself years ago not to let her hands shake in rooms full of people who expect her to fail. 3 loops, 1 straight line. Done. She places a pen on the table, turns, walks toward the exit. Behind her, Greg's voice again. See? Mutual. No drama. Just 2 adults being honest. Someone laughs. Nervous. Uncomfortable. Another person clears their throat. Diana's heels click on marble. Steady even. She doesn't look back. The doors close behind her. The hallway is empty. Quiet. She leans against the wall. Breathes. Her phone buzzes. Text flooding in. OMG, are you okay? What just happened, Diana? Call me. She scrolls past them. Open Instagram. Searches a tech corp company hashtag. 3 stories already live. The first one, Jenny from marketing. Video shaky. Caption. Did this just happen? Heart emoji. Shock face emoji. View count climbing. 2,000, 4,000, 8,000. The second mic from sales. Better angle. Greg's voice is clear. No alimony. No shared assets. Caption. Wildest Christmas party ever. Laughing emoji. The third. Someone she doesn't recognize. Close-up of Diana's face as she signs. Caption. When you know it's over. Sad face emoji. She closes the app, opens her messages, scrolls to Dad. Her thumb hovers over his name. Lawrence Brooks, the man who taught her keep her cards close, to never show weakness, to build her own path without his shadow. She hasn't asked him for help in 16 years. Not since she was 18 and changed her last name back to Brooks after her parents' divorce. Not when she applied to college. Not when she started her career. Not when Greg proposed. She always wanted to prove she could do it alone. But this is different. She presses call. He answers on the first ring. Diana. His voice is calm, steady, the way it always is. Dad, she says. Her voice cracks just slightly. I need to tell you something. I already know. He says, someone sent me the video 20 minutes ago. Her stomach twists. Who? Doesn't matter. Pause. Do you want me to handle this? She closes her eyes, leans her head back against the wall. The hallway smells like cleaning solution and faint perfume. I don't know, she whispers. Diana. His tone shifts softer. You never asked me for anything. Not once. If you want to walk away, I'll support you. If you want justice, I'll make sure you get it. She opens her eyes, stares at the ceiling. White tiles, recessed lights. What would justice look like? She asks. Lawrence is quiet for 3 seconds. Then the truth on record with consequences. Diana exhales long, slow. Okay, she says. Do what you need to do. Are you sure? She thinks about Greg's face, his smile, the way he handed her the pen like he was doing her a favor. Yes, she says. I'm sure. Good. Lawrence says, go home. Don't respond to anyone. I'll call you tomorrow. The line goes dead. Diana pushes off the wall, walks to her car, starts the engine, drives home. She doesn't cry. Not yet. By 6 a.m., the video has 100,000 views. By 300 p.m., 2 million. Diana wakes her phone, vibrating nonstop. Notifications flood her lock screen. Instagram, Twitter, text messages, missed calls. She silences everything. Make coffee. Stares out her apartment window. The comment section is a war zone. She probably cheated. He's just done with her. This is humiliating. Why would he do this in public? Modern women want equality until divorce time. Then suddenly they need support. Something's off. Why is she so calm? She's hiding something. He said no drama, but he literally created all the drama. Make it make sense. Y'all are missing the point. He called her out in front of 200 people. That's abuse. The replies split. Half defending Greg, half defending her. Most just watching, eating popcorn, waiting for the next act. December 22nd, Greg appears on a podcast, Real Men Rising, episode 847. Host Todd Richards, 200,000 subscribers. The kind of show that talks about male excellence and refusing to be emasculated. Diana doesn't listen. Her friend Rachel sends her the transcript. Todd Richards. So, you ended your marriage at a Christmas party. Bold move. Walk us through that. Greg Hayes. Look, I'll be honest with you. I supported Diana's career for 6 years. The marketing director sound impressive, but let's be real. She's a diversity hire, wrote affirmative action into middle management. I watched her coast while I brought in $12 million in revenue. Todd, you carried the financial load, Greg? Completely. And I was fine with it. I loved her, but she started acting like she earned her position, like she didn't need me. So I said, fine, let's make it official. You don't need me. Prove it, Todd. And doing it publicly, Greg. Transparency, man. I wanted witnesses. Wanted everyone to see she agreed. No lawyers twisting it later. She signed willingly in front of 200 people. That's consent, Todd. Powerful. A lot of guys in your position would have let her drag them through court. Greg, not me. I don't play games. The episode gets shared 60,000 times. Comments flood in. Finally, a man with a spine. King behavior. She thought she could use him and bounce. He said, not today. Diana reads 3 comments, closes the app, doesn't open again. December 23rd, 10 a.m. Her work email dings from Amanda Torres, HR director. Subject, workplace discretion request. Diana, I hope you're doing well given the circumstances. We become aware of the videos circulating online. While we respect your privacy, we need to ask that you maintain a low profile and avoid discussing personal matters with colleagues to preserve team morale during the holiday season. Please confirm receipt of this email. Best Amanda. Diana reads it twice. Her hands tighten around her coffee mug. She opens her sent folder. Searches for emails between Amanda and Greg. Nothing. No email asking him to maintain a low profile. No request for discretion. He's on sales calls. Business as usual. LinkedIn active. Posting about crushing Q4 goals. She calls her friend Maya, marketing coordinator. Sits 3 desks away from her. They emailed you? Maya asks. Not him. Just me. Diana says, that's insane. He's the one who caused this. HR doesn't see it that way. Maya is quiet for a moment. Then Diana, people here are talking. Some are on your side, but management is protecting him. He brings in too much revenue. They won't touch him. Diana knows. She's worked in tech long enough. The rules are different for top performers, especially men, especially white men who close deals. Thanks for telling me, Diana says. What are you going to do? Maya asks. Diana looks at the HR email, at the word discretion, at the word morale. I'm going to resign, she says. What? No. Diana, don't let them push you out. They're not pushing me out. I'm choosing to leave. She hangs up. Opens a blank email to Amanda Torres CC, her entire marketing team. Subject, resignation. Amanda, I resign from my position as director of marketing. Effective immediately. Thank you for the opportunities over the past 6 years. Diana Brooks. She hits send before she can second guesses herself. Her phone rings 30 seconds later. Her father. I saw the podcast, Lauren says, and I saw the HR email. They forwarded it to legal. How did you? Doesn't matter. Did you resign? Yes. Good. He says, you don't need them. Now we move. What does that mean? It means I'm exercising my rights as a majority shareholder. Brooks Holdings is initiating a full compliance audit of tech corporation expense reports, HR files, employee exit interviews, everything. Diana's breath catches. Dad, that's necessary. He says if they protect him, they'll protect others. This isn't about you anymore. This is about patterns. When audit notice goes out December 26th, Carter and Associates, forensic accounting, they'll have 7 days to produce documents. Diana closes her eyes. He's going to know it's because of me. Let him think that, Lawrence says. Let him think you're bitter. Let him think you're using me. The truth will speak for itself. That evening, Diana's phone buzzes. Text from Greg. Heard you quit. Probably for the best. You weren't cut out for that level anyway. Good luck with whatever's next. She doesn't respond. She pours herself wine, sits on her couch, turns off her phone. Tomorrow, the audit begins. Diana Brooks. Maiden name Diana Brooks. Married name Diana Hayes. At work, Diana Brooks. Greg never asked why she kept her maiden name professionally. If he had, he might have Googled it. December 24th, Christmas Eve. Diana sits in her apartment. No tree, no decorations, just silence. Her phone rings. Lawrence. The audit notice went out this morning. He says TechCorp executives received it 2 hours ago. What does it say? Brooks Holdings is exercising audit rights per the shareholder agreement, scope, expense reports, HR complaint files, employee exit interviews, past 5 years, external auditor, Carter and Associates. They specialize in forensic accounting, corporate fraud, employment law violations. Diana's stomach tightens. They'll know you're doing this because of me. They'll suspect, Lawrence says. But the audit is legal. Standard shareholder oversight. They can't refuse. Who else knows about us? No one at Tech Corporation. I've kept my distance deliberately. Never visited the Atlanta office. All board meetings are virtual. I wanted you to build your career without my shadow. Diana's throat tightens. She never told anyone at work. Never mentioned her father's name. Never used his connections. She wanted to prove she belonged on her own merit. Thank you for that, she whispers. You earned everything yourself, Lawrence says. Now, let's make sure everyone knows it. December 26th, the day after Christmas. Greg Hayes opens his work email. Subject line, audit notice, immediate compliance required. He reads it twice, forwards it to Kenneth Palmer, his mentor, board member, the man who promoted him 3 times. Greg's message. WTF? Is this about? Kenneth replies 10 minutes later. Probably routine. Brooks Holdings does this occasionally. Standard shareholder oversight. Don't worry. Greg texts his friend Jason, VP of Operations. Did you get the audit email, Jason? Yeah, expense reports and HR files. Pain in the ass, but whatever. Greg, why now? Jason, who knows? Probably end Ophir compliance stuff. Greg leans back in his chair. Thinks Brooks Holdings. He's heard the name. Majority shareholder owns 73% some private equity firm out of Nashville. He Googles Brooks Holdings CEO Lawrence Brooks, 62, founded the firm in 1998. Net worth estimated at $400 million. Investments in tech, healthcare, manufacturing. Greg scrolls through images, professional headshot, conference panels. Nothing interesting. He closes a tab, texts his friend. My ex-wife's dad apparently runs some holding company. She's probably trying to get him to mess with me. Pathetic. Won't work. Jason. Seriously? Greg? Yeah. Last name Brooks. Can't be a coincidence. Jason, that's wild. But dude, if he owns a company, you might want to be careful. Greg laughs, types back. He can audit all he wants. My numbers are clean. 12 million in revenue. I'm untouchable. He posts on Instagram. Photo from his Aspen ski trip taken yesterday. Blue sky, snow, sunglasses. Caption, living my best life. No regrets. Onward and upward. Comments flood in within minutes. King, you deserve happiness, brother. She wasn't worth it anyway. Upgrade coming soon. Greg screenshots the comments, sends them to his group chat. The people have spoken. Meanwhile, Diana meets with Sharon Wells, employment attorney, 48 years old, 20 years, specializing in workplace discrimination and wrongful termination. Sharon's office, downtown Atlanta, 19th floor, window overlooking Peachtree Street. Your father sent me the video, Sharon says, and the podcast transcript and the HR email. What do you think? Diana asks. I think Greg Hayes just created a case study in how to destroy your own career. Sharon slides a legal pad across the desk. But we haven't done anything yet. We let the audit work. We document everything. We stay quiet. That's it for now. Sharon leans forward. Diana, men like Greg believe they're untouchable because they've never faced consequences. The system protected him, reward him. So he got louder, bolder, more careless. And careless men leave trails. Sharon taps the legal pad. We follow the trail. We don't need to do anything. He already did it to himself. Diana exhales. Long, slow. How long? She asks. The audit? 7 to 10 days. Then we'll know what we're working with. Diana stands, shakes Sharon's hand, walks out. She drives home, checks her phone. Greg posted another Instagram story. Him at a bar. Champagne friends. Caption. Celebrating freedom. She doesn't react, doesn't comment, doesn't share. She just waits. December 27th, the audit team arrives at TechCorp headquarters. They bring 6 boxes empty, ready to fill. Audits don't lie. They surface what people try to bury. The first discrepancy appears on day 2. By day 5, there are 47. Carter and Associates sends 3 auditors. Lead investigator Patricia Carter. 15 years forensic accounting. Former FBI white-collar crimes. She's seen every version of corporate fraud. They start with expense reports. December 27th, Conference Room B. Tech C Core Finance Team provides 5 years of records, digital files, spreadsheets, receipts. Patricia's team sorts by employee. Flags anomalies. Greg Hayes' file is thick. First flag, February 2021. The line item reads, Client dinner, business development. Amount $890. Vendor Onyx Gentlemen's Club. Patricia highlights it. Check company policy. Section 4. 7. Adult entertainment venues are strictly prohibited. She keeps reading. March 2021. Conference attendance Orlando. $2,400. She Googles the conference. Southeast Sales Summit Orlando. March 2021. No results. The conference doesn't exist. April 2022. Client Entertainment Atlanta, $1,200. Venue, Cheetah Lounge, another strip club. By day 3, Patricia's team identifies 17 similar charges. Total $23,400. All marked as business expenses. All violating policy. All approved by Greg's direct supervisor, Kenneth Palmer. December 29th, HR files. Amanda Torres delivers boxes. 3 of them. She looks nervous. These are the complaint files you requested. Amanda says, redacted per privacy protocols. Patricia doesn't look up. We need unredacted versions. Brooks Holdings has authority per shareholder agreement. You have 2 hours. Amanda's face pales. She leaves. 2 hours later, she returns. Unredacted files. Her hands shake. Patricia opens the first box. Greg Hayes' folder. 11 complaints. 5 years. Complaint number 1. September 2019. Rachel Cooper, marketing coordinator. Black woman. Allegation. Mr. Hayes made repeated comments about my appearance. Nice dress, Rachel. Trying to impress someone. When I asked him to stop, he said I was too sensitive. HR response. Coaching conversation conducted. He expressed regret. No further action required. October 30th, 2019. Greg Hayes promoted to senior sales manager. 45 days after the complaint. Complaint number 2. March 2020. Angela Martinez, sales associate. Latina allegation. Mr. Hayes called me spicy and fiery in front of clients. When I objected, he laughed. Said, Latinas are passionate. Everyone knows that. Asked if I got my job through a diversity quota. HR response. Coaching conversation. He acknowledged comments may have been misinterpreted. No formal discipline warranted. May 12, 2020. Greg promoted to sales director 70 days after the complaint. Complaint number 3, February 2021. Rachel Cooper, second complaint. Allegation. Mr. Hayes touches my lower back when passing my desk. Suggested we grab drinks to discuss my career. When I declined, my performance review dropped from exceeds to meets with no explanation. This is retaliation. HR response. Additional coaching. Mr. Hayes denies retaliation. Performance standards applied consistently. June 2021. Rachel Cooper resigned. Exit interview. Personal reasons. Patricia reads 6 more complaints. All similar. All women. 8 from women of color. Comments about appearance. Touching without consent. Questions about qualifications. Jokes about diversity hires. Every complaint. Coaching conversation. No warnings, no suspension. And then within 60 to 90 days, Greg received promotion, bonus, or award nomination. Patricia maps the timeline. September 2019 complaint. October 2019 promotion. March 2020 complaint. May 2020 promotion, February 2021 complaint, September 2021 VP sales, June 2022 complaint, August 2022 $15,000 bonus, January 2023 complaint, March 2023 leadership award nomination. The pattern is undeniable. HR wasn't protecting Greg despite complaints. They protected him because of them. Too valuable, too profitable. $12 million in revenue. December 30th. Email server backup. They recovered deleted threads. Date, January 2023. Participants, Greg Hayes, Kenneth Palmer. 2 VPs. Subject, new diversity initiative. Greg's reply, great, more quotas. Guess we're not hiring the best anymore. Just the most diverse. Kenneth Palmer. LOL, keep that between us. VP number 1. As long as it doesn't hurt my team's numbers. VP number 2, DI bingo coming soon. Greg, someone should tell HR that diverse isn't a qualification. The thread continues. Jokes about oppression Olympics. Mocking unconscious bias training. 23 pages. Patricia adds the evidence. January 2nd. Exit interviews. 11 women filed complaints. Where are they now? Rachel Cooper resigned. Works retail. Salary cut in half. Angela Martinez transferred. Lower visibility. No promotion since. For others resigned within 6 months. 2 poor performance reviews immediately after complaining. Both placed on improvement plans. Patricia calls a former employee. I filed a complaint. The woman says, voice quiet, tired. HR said they'd handle it. Then my manager documented everything. Every email, every mistake. I couldn't breathe, so I quit. Did they tell you why? No. But I knew if you complain about Greg Hayes, your career's over. He brings in money. They'll protect him, not you. Patricia reviews the employee survey. December 2024. Question. Do you feel leadership prioritizes culture over performance metrics? 78%. No. The question. Do you feel the workplace is inclusive? 41% of women. No. 67% of women of color. No. Free text comments. HR protects people who bring in money. If you're not a white man in sales, good luck. I've watched women quit after complaining. Nothing changes. Boys Club at the top. Tech Corp's diversity statement. We are committed to fostering an equitable environment where all voices are heard. The gap is a canyon. If you've ever wondered whether documentation matters, keep listening. January 3rd, Patricia compiles the audit report. Findings: $23,400 fraudulent expenses, 11 complaints, 0 formal discipline, pattern of racial and gender harassment targeting women of color, systematic retaliation via performance reviews and forced resignations, email evidence of discriminatory attitudes, promotion timeline rewarding Greg after buried complaints, survey data confirming toxic culture, liability high, potential class action, EEOC violations. Recommendation. Immediate termination of Gregory Hayes for cause. Review Amanda Torres. Investigate Kenneth Palmer. Patricia sends a report to Brooks Holdings. Lawrence reads it in 20 minutes. He forwards it to the Tech Court Board. Subject line, emergency meeting required. January 15th, cornered animals bite. Greg Hayes is no exception. January 3rd, he retains Patterson and Associates. Their specialty, high-stakes employment defense, aggressive tactics, win at any cost. Let attorney Stuart Patterson, 56 years old, built his career defending executives accused of misconduct. He doesn't care about the truth. He cares about winning. December 28th, the demand letter arrives to Brooks Holdings Tech Corporation Board of Directors. Diana Hayes from Patterson and Associates, LLP. Subject, cease and desist, retaliatory audit. The letter is 14 pages. Greg's position, the audit is retaliatory, orchestrated by a disgruntled ex-spouse using family connections to destroy his career and reputation. Key claims, Mr. Hayes is a victim of a coordinated campaign of harassment initiated by Diana Hayes following their amicable divorce. Ms. Hayes has weaponized her father's majority ownership to pursue a personal vendetta. The timing of this audit immediately following their separation demonstrates clear retaliatory intent. Mr. Hayes has an exemplary record. $12 million in revenue over 3 years. 0 formal complaints upheld by HR. The letter demands immediate cessation of the audit, threatens defamation lawsuit if findings are made public, requests $500,000 settlement for emotional distress and reputational harm. Sharon Wells reads it to Diana over phone. This is posturing, Sharon says. Standard aggressive defense. They're hoping you'll back down. Diana sits in her apartment silent. Diana, I'm here. She says, what do we do? Nothing. We let the audit finish. His lawyer can threaten all he wants. The evidence speaks for itself. But Greg doesn't stop there. January 4th, an article appears online. Business Insider Atlanta, local outlet, 70,000 followers. Headline, Tech executive claims audit is ex-wife's retaliation. The article is 800 words. Anonymous sources, likely Greg's friends. Key quotes. Sources close to Hayes describe him as an ambitious sales leader caught in a messy divorce. Colleagues say Diana Hayes struggled in her role and resented her husband's success. One source claims Diana never mentioned her father's wealth during the marriage, then suddenly pulled strings when things ended. The article gets shared 180,000 times in 24 hours. The comments section explodes. He's being crucified for moving on. She can't handle that. He's successful. Rich girl using daddy's power. Tale as old as time. Maybe you should have signed a prenup. Y'all are missing the point. If the audit finds nothing, then what? She just destroyed him for fun. Diana's friends send her the link. She doesn't read it, but she knows it exists. January 5th, emergency board meeting, virtual Zoom. 12 people on screen. Attendees. Kenneth Palmer, board member. Greg's mentor. 60 years old, 20 years on the board. Amanda Torres, HR director, defensive, nervous. Lawrence Brooks, silent observer. Camera on, microphone muted. Tech Corporation CEO, middle manager, promoted beyond his capability, uncomfortable with conflict. Patricia Carter, auditor, presenting findings. 8 other board members, various levels of awareness. Kenneth speaks first. Before we begin, I want to state for the record that this audit feels motivated by personal grievance. Greg Hayes has been instrumental to this company's growth. $12 million in revenue. Consistent performer. The timing here is suspicious. Patricia's face doesn't change. The audit was initiated per standard shareholder oversight protocols. Brooks Holdings has exercised this right twice before, 2017 and 2020, both times without incident. But those weren't targeting a specific employee, Kenneth says. Neither is this one, Patricia replies. The scope covers all executive expense reports and HR compliance files. Mr. Hayes' name appeared in the findings. We didn't search for him specifically. Kenneth leans back, unconvinced. Patricia presents the evidence line by line. Expense fraud, HR complaints, email threads, promotion timeline, exit interviews. She speaks for 40 minutes. Her tone never changes. Factual, forensic, clinical. When she finishes, silence. Then Kenneth, these complaints were handled appropriately at the time. HR used coaching interventions. That a valid response. Are we really going to destroy a man's career over some off-color jokes? One of the female board members speaks. 11 complaints. 8 from women of color. That's not some jokes. That's a pattern, Kenneth. He brings in revenue. He closes deals. That matters. So, does liability? The woman replies. If even one of these women sues, we're looking at a class action. Discovery will expose everything. Every email, every buried complaint, every retaliation will lose. Amanda Torres tries to defend her decisions. We followed protocol. Coaching conversations are standard practice. We balance accountability with business needs. Patricia responds without emotion. Your protocol violated your own policies and federal guidelines. You documented complaints, then took no meaningful action. You allowed a hostile work environment to persist. That's not balanced. That's negligence. The Tech Corp CEO clears his throat. What's the recommendation, Patricia? Termination for cause or immediate? No severance. Kenneth, that's extreme. Patricia, that's appropriate. The meeting ends without resolution. Further review needed. Greg texts Kenneth afterward. Thanks for having my back. This will blow over. Kenneth doesn't respond immediately. He's starting to worry. January 6th. Diana sits in her apartment, stares at her phone, the demand letter, the article, the board meeting summary Sharon sent her. She thinks about stopping, about calling her father, about saying, let's drop this. Her phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number. Hi, Diana. My name is Rachel Cooper. I worked at Tech Corp 2020 to 2021. I filed a complaint against Greg Hayes. I need to tell you what he did to me. Diana stares at the message. Her hands start shaking. She types back, I'm listening. Justice isn't always empowering. Sometimes it's just heavy. January 7th. Diana meets Rachel Cooper at a coffee shop in Dekar. Small place. Quiet, away from downtown, away from Tech Corp, away from anyone who might recognize them. Rachel arrives first. 29 years old, black woman. Hair pulled back, no makeup. She looks tired. The kind of tiredness that doesn't go away with sleep. Diana sits across from her, orders coffee. Neither of them will drink. Thank you for meeting me, Rachel says. Her hands wrap around her cup. They're shaking slightly. Thank you for reaching out, Diana says. Rachel takes a breath. I saw the video, the Christmas party. I saw what he did to you. Pause. He did it to me, too. Different versions. Same cruelty. Diana listens. Rachel's story comes slowly in pieces. She worked at Tech Corp for 2 years, marketing coordinator, good at her job, loved her team. Then Greg started noticing her. Comments about her appearance. Nice dress, Rachel. Trying to impress someone. Questions about her hair. You should wear it down. It's more professional. She ignored it at first. Then it escalated. He touched her lower back when passing her desk. Suggested drinks after work to discuss career growth. She declined. He laughed. Said she was playing hard to get. She filed a complaint. September 2019, HR called her in, asked her to describe everything. She did. They took notes, said they'd handle it. 2 weeks later, coaching conversation with Greg. He apologized, said it was a misunderstanding. 1 month later, he was promoted. Rachel kept working, kept her head down, avoid him when possible. February 2021. He cornered her in the break room, asked why she was still being cold to him. She said she was uncomfortable. He said she was holding a grudge. Her performance review came back downgraded. Meets expectations instead of exceeds. No explanation, no warning. She filed another complaint. HR said they'd investigated the first one. Found no wrongdoing. Suggested she focus on professional development. She quit 3 months later. I couldn't afford to leave, Rachel says. Her voice cracks. But I couldn't afford to stay either. My mental health was, she stops, wipes her eyes. I work retail now. I make half what I made there. I had to move back in with my parents. Diana's throat tightens. I thought I was the only one. Rachel says, I thought maybe I was too sensitive. Maybe I misread things. Maybe it was my fault. It wasn't. Diana says, I know that now. Rachel looks at her. When I saw the video, I realized he does this to women who can't fight back. Women of color, especially women he thinks have no power. Diana nods. She can't speak. Over the next 2 days, 5 more women reach out. Former employees, current employees using anonymous emails. Their stories follow the same pattern. Angela Martinez, Latina, senior analyst. Greg called her spicy in front of clients, made jokes about her being fiery. When she complained, HR told her to lighten up. Why she transferred to a different department. Lower visibility. No promotion since. Kesha Thompson, black woman, sales associate. Greg asked if she got her job through a diversity quota. In front of the whole team. She complained. Her manager started documenting every mistake she made. She works from home now, avoids the office entirely. 3 others, similar stories, different details. Same ending, complaints filed. HR buried them, careers stalled or ended. Diana sits in her apartment after the last phone call, stares at her notes. 8 women, 8 stories, 8 lives altered. She thinks about Greg's face at the Christmas party. His smile, his confidence, the way he handed her the pen like he was doing her a favor. She thinks about the podcast. I supported her career. The lie was delivered so smoothly. She thinks about stopping, about walking away, about letting him keep his job and his reputation. Then she thinks about Rachel working retail, living with her parents, still carrying the weight of what he did. She calls her father. Dad, she says, I need to know something. If we do this, his career is over. Is that fair? Lawrence is quiet for 3 seconds. Diana, I've seen the evidence. This isn't about him anymore. This is about the system that protected him. If we stop now, the next woman suffers. Is that what you want? Diana closes her eyes. No, she whispers. Then we finish this. What happens next will restore your faith in quiet persistence. Courage is contagious. When one woman speaks, others find their voices. January 10th, Sharon Wells' office, 19th floor, downtown Atlanta. 6 women sit around the conference table. Rachel Cooper, Angela Martinez, Kesha Thompson. 3 others who asked to remain anonymous initially. Sharon addresses them. Thank you all for coming. What I'm about to ask requires courage. It also carries risk. Your names may become public. Greg's attorney may challenge your credibility. Social media may attack you. Rachel speaks first. I've already lost everything he could take from me. My career, my confidence, my peace. What else can he do? Angela nods. I stayed quiet for 4 years. Watched him get promoted while I got sidelined. I'm done being quiet. Kesha, if we don't stop him, he'll do this to someone else. Another woman of color who thinks she has no power. I won't let that happen. Sharon slides documents across the table. These are sworn affidavits, legal statements. You'll describe what happened, when, where, who you reported to, what HR said, everything. You'll sign them under penalty of perjury. One woman hesitates. What if they don't believe us? They will, Sharon says, because you're not alone. 6 of you. Same pattern, same failure. That's not a coincidence. That's evidence. January 11th. All 6 women sign. Notarized, witness, legal. Rachel's statement runs 3 pages. Details every comment, every touch, every complaint, every HR failure. Angela's statement includes email screenshots, messages from Greg, calling her too emotional and dramatic. Kesha's statement includes performance review documents before complaining exceeds expectations. After complaining, needs improvement. The statements stack into a file 2 and thick. Sharon sends copies to Lawrence Brooks, to the Tech Court Board, to Patricia Carter. Evidence documented. Undeniable. January 11th. Evening. Someone leaks the employee survey. Anonymous source. Sent to Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Real outlet. Credible reporters. The Survey Tech Corporation conducted December 2024 before the Christmas party. Before the scandal. Key findings published. 78% of employees feel leadership protects high performers over company culture. 41% of women report workplace not inclusive. 63% are aware of complaints being dismissed without action. The free text comments anonymized but devastating. Boys Club at the top. HR is useless if you're not profitable. I've watched women quit after complaining. Nothing changes. The article runs January 12th. Headline: Tech firm's internal survey reveals culture crisis. The article doesn't name Greg. Legal reasons, but the timing is clear. Comments flood in. This is every tech company. Glad someone's finally exposing it. Hope the women who complain are okay. This system is broken. If you protect abusers because they make money, you're not a company, you're a cult. January 12th afternoon, a LinkedIn post goes viral. Author: senior female manager at a different Atlanta tech firm, not Tech Corp, but close enough to matter. The post: I watched the story unfold this month. A woman humiliated publicly, a pattern of behavior ignored, a system protecting the wrong people. To every woman who's been told that's just his humor or he doesn't mean harm, I see you. Your experiences matter. Your complaints aren't overreactions. To every leader who's looked the other way because someone brings in revenue, you're complicit. Talent doesn't excuse abuse. We can do better. We must do better. The post gets 47,000 likes in 24 hours, 12,000 shares. Comments become a movement. Women across industries share similar stories. Name companies, name patterns, name the cost of silence. Hashtag not just one-man trends in Atlanta, then Georgia, then nationally. Diana reads a post, reads the comments, reads hundreds of women saying, "Me too." For the first time in 3 weeks, she doesn't feel alone. She texts Rachel, "Did you see this?" Rachel replies, "Yes, we did this. All of us." Diana puts down her phone, stares out her window. The sun is setting. Gold light across the Atlanta skyline. She thinks about Greg, about his confidence, his certainty, his belief that he was untouchable. He's about to learn otherwise. Greg Hayes didn't demand a divorce at Christmas party on impulse. He'd been planning it since April. The question isn't why he did it publicly. That's why he did it in December. January 8th, Lawrence Brooks receives a file. Courier delivery marked confidential from Mitchell Investigative Services. Private investigator, former FBI. Assignment: determine when Greg Hayes first consulted a divorce attorney. The file is 23 pages. Lawrence reads page 1. His jaw tightens. He calls Diana. "I'm sending you something. Read it, then call me back." Diana opens the PDF 20 minutes later. Finding number 1. Initial consultation. Date: April 18th, 2024. Attorney Morgan and Associates. Family Law, Atlanta. Greg Hayes met with Thomas Morgan. 90-minute consultation. Topics discussed. Client inquired about optimal timing for divorce filing to minimize asset exposure. Client asked about preemptive filing to establish a timeline before the spouse's financial situation changes. Greg paid $5,000 retainer. April 22nd, 8 months before the Christmas party. Diana's hands go cold. Finding number 2. Email communications. Date: November 2nd, 2024. From Greg Hayes to Thomas Morgan. Escrow email excerpt. "We need to move before the end of the year. Diana's father is planning a major acquisition announcement in Q1 2025. She doesn't know the details. He keeps business separate from family. If I wait until after the announcement, her family connections argument gets stronger. She doesn't know her dad's plans." Perfect timing. Diana stops reading. She doesn't know her dad's plans. He knew. Greg knew about the merger. She didn't. Finding number 3. Strategic planning. Date: November 18th. Greg to attorney. "Can we do it publicly? I want witnesses to her agreement. Less room for her to claim coercion later." Response: unusual, but if she signs voluntarily in public, That's strong evidence of consent. Diana's stomach turns. The Christmas party wasn't cruel. It was a strategy. He needed witnesses. Needed her to sign quickly. Needed it to look mutual. Finding number 4, merger context. Brooks Holdings plan announcement. Merger with 2 other firms. Tech Corp shares would triple in value. Announcement date January 28, 2025. Greg's timeline. Divorce finalized before announcement. Diana gets nothing from the increase. His calculation. Clean break before Christmas. Locked in. No future claims. Diana closes a laptop. 6 years of marriage. He told her once, "I married you for love, Diana, not connections." He lied. She calls Sharon Wells. "I just read the report." "What do you want to do?" Sharon asks, "I want the board to see this. I want them to know it was calculated. He used me. Then he humiliated me to protect his financial interests. This changes everything." Sharon says we can challenge the divorce settlement. "I don't want his money. I never did." "Then what do you want?" Diana thinks. 3 seconds. "I want him to face what he's done to me, to Rachel, to Angela, to every woman. I want consequences." Sharon's voice is steady. "You'll get them." January 13th. Sharon forwards a report to Lawrence. Lawrence forwards it to the Tech Court Board. Subject line. Additional evidence for January 15th meeting. Gregory Hayes premeditated divorce to avoid asset exposure from planned merger. Attachment 23 pages. Kenneth Palmer opens the email. Read the first page. His face gets pale. He forwards it to Greg. No message. Greg reads it. His hands start shaking. Some trials happen in courtrooms, others in boardrooms. The verdict is the same. January 15th, 200 p.m. Emergency board meeting, virtual Zoom. 12 board members. Greg Hayes was invited to attend. He joins from his home office. Suit, tie, professional. He thinks he's going to defend himself. He's wrong. Lawrence Brooks speaks first. His tone is calm, forensic, no emotion. "We initiated this audit due to concerns about HR compliance and expense management. What we found exceeded those concerns." He presents the findings. Methodical line by line. $23,400 fraudulent expenses. 11 HR complaints, 0 formal discipline, racist email communications, promotion timeline showing rewards after buried complaints, 6 sworn witness statements. Each receipt displayed on screen share. Each document is time-stamped, sourced, verified. Lawrence's narration. Facts only. No editorial. Between 2019 and 2024, 11 formal complaints were filed against Mr. Hayes. Company policy requires formal discipline after 3 complaints involving similar behavior. Mr. Hayes received coaching conversations. No written warnings, no suspension, no demotion. Pause. Within 60 to 90 days of each complaint being filed, Mr. Hayes received a promotion, bonus, or leadership award nomination. The board members lean forward. Some take notes. Some just stare. Lawrence continues. "We also have evidence that Mr. Hayes plans divorce 8 months in advance. Consult an attorney in April. Time the public filing to occur before a planned merger announcement to avoid asset exposure." He shares the email. Greg's words on screen. "She doesn't know her dad's plans." Perfect timing. Silence. Heavy. Suffocating. Greg's face on camera goes pale. Kenneth Palmer tries to intervene. "I've known Greg for 6 years. He's a talented leader. Some of this seems like personality conflicts being weaponized." Lawrence responds, still calm. "Mr. Palmer, did you participate in the email thread dated January 2023? Subject line, New Diversity Initiative." Kenneth's camera feed freezes. His microphone stays muted. Lawrence continues. "Your reply was LOL. Keep that between us. Would you like to explain that to board?" No response. Greg unmutes. "Those emails were jokes taken out of context, and the divorce." "Yes, I consulted an attorney. That's not illegal. I was protecting my interests." Lawrence, "By humiliating your wife in front of 200 people. She agreed." Greg says, his voice rising. "She signed voluntarily. Under false pretenses." Lawrence says, "You manipulated the timeline." You knew about the merger. She didn't. You obtained her signature through strategic deception. Greg, this is a witch hunt. I brought in $12 million in revenue. These complaints were handled. HR cleared me every time. Lawrence, HR buried them. There's a difference. One female board member speaks. Mr. Hayes, 8 women of color filed complaints against you. Can you explain why the pattern is so specific? Greg hesitates. I don't see race. I treat everyone the same. Clearly not, she says. The board chair calls for a vote. Motion to terminate Gregory Hayes for cause effective immediately. No severance per company policy section 8. 3. Gross misconduct. 8 hands raised, 1 opposed. Kenneth Palmer. Greg's face on screen. Shock. Disbelief. This is illegal. He says, I'll sue. Lawrence unmutes. Final words. Mr. Hayes, you can certainly try, but you should know the woman you humiliated at the Christmas party is my daughter. And unlike you, she never used family connections to advance her career. She didn't need to. Greg's camera feed goes black. Meeting ends. Justice doesn't always look like victory. Sometimes it looks like peace. April 2025, 3 months later, Diana Brooks starts a new position. Chief Marketing Officer, different companies, better culture, larger team, 40% salary increase. She kept her maiden name, Brooks, always Brooks. Her new CEO knows her story. Hired her anyway. Your resilience is what we need here. Woo! 3 women were promoted under her leadership in the first month. 2 of them are women of color. Greg Hayes updates his LinkedIn again. Opened opportunities. Posted January 16th. Still there, still searching. He's applied to 43 positions. 0 offers. Recruiters ghost him. Industry contacts go silent. His name carries weight now. The wrong kind. His last Instagram post. Inspirational quote about resilience. Comments turned off. Tech Corp implements new policies. April 1st, 3 complaint rule. Any employee with 3 similar complaints receives mandatory external investigation, retaliation tracking, automatic audit if a complaining employee receives negative review within 6 months. New HR director hired. Amanda Torres was terminated in February. Employee survey. April 2025. 64% say culture is improving, up from 22%. Kenneth Palmer resigned from the board. January 17th, quiet exit, no statement. Diana sits in her apartment Saturday evening. Quiet. She pours champagne. Not celebrating, just existing. The glass catches light. Red and green reflections from the city below. She thinks about the Christmas party, the red dress, the pen, the silence. Feels nothing now. No anger, no sadness, just distance. Some bridges burn themselves. And that's okay. Dignity cannot be negotiated. Power doesn't always announce itself. And sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one who decides how the story ends. If this story meant something to you, if you've ever felt invisible, overlooked, or silenced, share it. Not for revenge, for recognition. Because your story matters. 2. Subscribe to Blacktail Stories. There are more stories like Diana's, and they all deserve to be told. Thank you for listening.